I'm about to begin to create a model whereby I have raised lettering and a relief texture at some distance behind the lettering. As you see right here, I've got a 24 by 12 through 5/8 thickness, and the material Z0. I'm going to put at the machine bed for material and model both. So here we go. I'll click on OK, and now I have a new work area. I will use the text tool to place text and do a little bit of sizing of the text to make it somewhat larger for demonstration purposes. So there we are. Put a rectangle around that. Again, working very quickly, not precise at all. And if we take a quick look at the 3D view, in fact the model is at the bottom of the material as expected. So go back to 2D. I'm going to bring in a texture. It's hand carved 1 as it turns out, and I will move that up a little bit and then size it so that it completely encompasses the rectangle, but does not push out past the boundary of the material. I'll set the Z range to be a 1/4 inch, make it kind of gross intentionally. I'll apply that and paste. So now hypothetically I have this texture, and as you can see as I zoom in, the texture, the relief is below the bottom of the material, which is certainly not a good situation. But moving on, now I'm done with the relief library. Let's go ahead and create a toolpath. I'll click over to 2D for simplicity and move this guy in the middle. So now what I'm going to do is create a toolpath within the rectangle and the lettering. So click on toolpath, machine relief, and here's the error that I get. Points on the model outside the currently defined material, as I had seen in the 3D view. It asked me, do I want to adjust things? I'll say yes, and really hasn't changed anything, at least not visually here. It's the same thickness, same location within the material. I'll click on OK, but somehow magically the texture appears now within the material, which is of course more appropriate. In fact, it's moved the baseline for the model up who knows how much, maybe well, could be a 1/4 inch, could be less, a little hard to measure. But now I believe I will be successful in going ahead. I'm going to set an end mill, a ball nose 1/8 inch for finishing, and 1/8 inch end mill for roughing. Instead of the whole relief, I'm going to use selected vectors. They're a little easier to choose here in the 2D view, so I'll click on the lettering and the shift click the rectangle and go ahead and calculate it. It is now obviously figuring out what to cut, and when it's done I'll do a simulation to see what did it actually do. And the puzzle for me, because I've done this before, is what could I have done during any part of this process other than accepting the error and letting it fix it for me. How could I have set up the material and the cutting such that the error message would not have occurred? That's kind of where I'm going. This is not earth-shattering. Let's go to the toolpaths. We'll go to simulation. We'll simulate this fellow and prove to ourselves that in fact it did create an appropriate looking cut. There's a slight touch down here. I guess that's part of the texture, probably where it's set at 0. But if I cut this in material thicker than 5/8, everything will be fine. So as always, your feedback and input is appreciated. I hope you can help me understand what I could have done differently, and I thank you.